Hi everybody, this is Debbie from Project 39 Mini Album. I am part of an Instagram hop every other Tuesday at 7 p.m. called Stashbusters 2024. This week's prompt was clean and simple using your oldest stamp set and your newest stamp set. So that the sentiment was from an old stamp set I had, and the focal point was from a new stamp set I had. Not only did I have fun making these cards, but I also smashed my stash and used a new technique in the process. I use bleach to color some cards, and I'm going to show you what that looks like, and then I'm going to show you how it works and how you can do it. So this is using that same stamp set, the bleach technique on a card. You can see I stamped it and then I colored it with bleach around the outside, and then I used a white Tim Holtz watercolor distress pencil to highlight some of the petals. So let me show you how to do that. So using my stamp platform, I put the stamp on and use Versamark, and then add some fine detail black embossing powder onto it. Incidentally, I did not use an embossing buddy. I just let, if there were any grains of the black embossing powder, I left it on. It sort of added a neat touch. Of course, I found that out by mistake, but I'll go ahead and I'm doing 2 of these just so I can talk through the process. So I just remove all the excess embossing powder. I heat emboss it from the bottom first and then the top. And I know it does turn this cardstock different colors. It turns it sort of a purpley blue, but it turns back as soon as it cools. I just pour some bleach into the cap, and using an old brush, you don't want to use a good brush because the bleach can really tear apart a brush. I just paint the areas that I want to lighten. Now, different colors are going to show through on different papers. It's not all going to be the beige color. I actually tried it on 3 different pieces of black cardstock. I'm not showing you here, but just as an experiment. And they all came out in different colors. One was sort of a gray tone, and the other ones were both beige. So it tells you what the base of the cardstock was before they dyed it to be the color that we see now. So in this case, I left those center leaves on the vase in the blue. I just thought it would add some interest, and plus that way I don't have to color it back. So I'm using 2 different paint brushes. I have a fine tip now. I had used at first one that just was more of a, I think it was a round number 2, just to get bigger areas. But then I found this fine tip gets a little bit closer to the edge of the embossing powder. So, and you can see it doesn't happen immediately. It's sort of a slow process. And I've also found if you use your heat gun to dry it, it's going to be a brighter color. Now, if you want more muted, you can, of course, add water. See how bright it's becoming? You can add more water to the bleach and it'll tone down the effect. Now here I've got a white watercolor pencil, and I'm just putting some on the leaves. I'm not being really particular about it because I'll add some water to it. I had spritzed a little water on that stamping block there on the right, just plain water, and just brushed over the areas I had colored. I did come in with a little bit of rusty hinge at the end, just putting on the bottom of the center of the flowers just to add a little bit more dimension to it. And that's pretty much the process of how I stamped and colored using bleach. All right, and we'll take a look at the rest of the cards. So as you can see, I cut this into a hexagon just by clipping off the corners, uh, layered it on yellow cardstock, then on white. There is some dimensional paper that had gone through my embossing folder. And then I have the blue check. There is my oldest stamp set from Stampability's 2009, 2012. I'll have to double check that. So, and these are 5x7 cards because the image is so loud, and also I prefer making 5x7 cards. I'll make A2, but I also like making these larger cards for something I'm going to spend some time on. This is a fun fold card, so it's the same design. Now this one I used white embossing powder, so that's just got a different look to it. And then I used the stamp the traditional way in coloring it, so I just wanted to show you that because those are, again, an entirely different look using the same stamp set. This one I fussy cut. I don't know if there's a die available for this. And then this one, it's just a different stamp from that same stamp set. So there's just more flowers in here. And again, I used the Tim Holtz Distress watercolor pencils to color it after I used the bleach technique. So, and then I finished up this paper. I was done stamping, and then we're back to the originals. But let me show you some close-ups of it, and then close-ups of other cards I made using the paper from this set so I could smash my stamp. That's what I have for you today. Thank you for joining along. Don't forget to check all the people in Instagram who used the same challenge. Thanks for watching and have a fabulous day.